with Kiera. We have so much to get to on this show, everybody, but you know the deal. First, if you missed any of our previous shows with other Kiera, which is what I used to, I know, we gotta ask Kiera if she likes Kiki or Kiera. We'll get to that. But third place, Kiera, Anthony, Dane so far. Of course, all of the phone interviews are over there. All of our interviews with every house guest from the past 7 seasons are at yourrealityrecaps.com/bbcan. And if you missed this show live, you should become a fan over on YouNow so that you're alerted every time we go live. You can hang out in the chat room, ask your questions in real time. Of course, next week, tomorrow, is our Drag Race show, so there's not a Big Brother one, but Tuesday is Adam, Wednesday is Sam, and I believe Friday will be Esty. Thursday, of course, is our amazing race show, so there will not be one of these Big Brother shows. If you want to help support all of the content we're bringing you, consider becoming a patron. yourrealityrecaps.com/patron. You get access to the patron-only group, weekly shows, and prize giveaways just for patrons, and of course, the after shows, like one we're gonna do after this show. Of course, you can help support us for free too if you have Amazon shopping to do. Just use our link, yourrealityrecaps.com/Amazon. Thumbs up and subscribe over on YouTube. Hit that bell. 5-star rating and a nice review in iTunes is wonderful too. That being said, let's get to the lady in 1 second that you all are dying to hear from. It's Kiera!
Hi!
See how good that was? Nobody knows anything.
No one knows anything. Nothing happened.
Nothing at all happened. Hi! Now, Kiera,
Yes.
do you love being called Kiki? Or do you hate it?
You know what? I don't mind it, actually. No one has ever called me Kiki before, besides my best friend. Everybody tells me Kiera or Keeks, but Kiki just stuck in the house, and I guess that's my alter ego now, so I'm cool with it.
All right, I'm going to go with whatever chat calls you then. I'm going to go with whatever they say in their question, or I will
Call
call
me
you
Dad.
Kiera. Call you what?
Nothing.
Okay. Let everybody know, again, make sure, since you guys are all here, spread that word, square, megaphone, up arrow, let everybody know we are live, and of course, keeping up with the tradition of all the other house guests, Kiera has graciously agreed, #1 fan, you get to pick again, Kiera autograph or Kiera Skype call. Now, Kiera, I want to jump right in to your questions from your fans. Of course, you guys can tweet me them with #YRRLive or leave them in the chat. We have Lindsay pulling them for us from chat. The first one I kind of want to get to, because it kind of came from so many people, is a lot of people want to know, how do you feel about Esty now? Post-season, because I think a lot of fans feel like, and we do love Esty, but a lot of fans feel like you were more ride or die for Esty than it seemed like she was for you. And I don't know if that's true. We'll ask her on Friday. But, what do you feel about the relationship that you guys had now being out of the house and getting to watch it, on TV?
Well, to be completely honest, I haven't seen the whole season.
Okay.
I know that might come as a shocker, but I tried to start watching it and it just got a little weird for me. I was like, oh, like I was just there. That's so weird. So I might take a little time before I watch it.
Okay.
But I absolutely love Esty. I mean, she's my best friend. She was my partner through that game. I understand why people would think that she wasn't as loyal to me because, she did have Dane and she was building that relationship, and their bond was very strong. But at the end of the day, I know she had my back and she had my best interest at heart, and as I did hers. So I love her. We're going to be friends forever, honestly.
I mean, I think the thing that is hard for people to realize is it's a game.
Yeah.
And we never know that the things that people are saying could just be because they're trying to influence the person they're talking to. It doesn't really mean that they mean it.
Yeah.
You know, so like, or like when people are mean, I always think like they're like, that person was so mean in that group of people. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
they're probably trying to win the favor of that group of people. Maybe they're not mean, and then they come out of the house, and then they're horrible out of the house, and then I say, you guys are right, I was wrong. Okay, so, all right, we're gonna leave that there. The other kind of hot topic for Kiera that I'm going to ask to
Okay.
put an end to it, and all the ways I'm sure people are going to ask it, we kind of saw Mark, maybe, sort of, and, you know, say a lot about you on the feeds during the season. We saw your Twitter. We know that you saw some of the things that he said about you in the house. We don't need to rehash the exact words. Have you talked to Mark since the season has ended? Let's start there.
I've talked to Mark a little bit, actually. I think it's hard for us to kind of like all stay connected at this point right now because we all keep getting pulled in different directions.
Right.
But ultimately, I'm someone who takes the game as what it is. I don't know Mark outside of the house. All I know is who he was inside of the house.
Right.
And also, I think that he had a crush on me. And when you have a crush on somebody and somebody doesn't reciprocate that, your feelings can get a little hurt. So I don't take anything personally. Like, that's why I put out that tweet that was like, I'm sleeping. You know, I mean, it's no sweat off my back, honestly.
Okay, then I'm going to speak on behalf of myself and no connection to Kiera at all. Mark, when you come on here, we're going to have a little talk about how you chat about ladies. And we're going to talk a little bit about being respectful, Mark. Because I heard Mark is going to come out of hiding now and will come and talk to us.
Yeah, exactly.
He's been hiding a little bit, but no, it is all fun here. I am really not here to nail anybody to a cross. Let me take a question from Lisa, who wants to know, are you allowed to say what happened to your foot? Is your foot still injured? Did you injure your foot? Oh, that's right. You did injure your foot. Okay. I'll say, yeah, Kiera's feeling great.
Doing well. I'm doing well.
Doing great. I'll ask that question later. Michelle, I have to say, you know, there is a curse. On a side note, there is a curse in that house.
Yeah.
I left the house. I broke my ankle and leg. Johnny leaves the house. He was in the house, breaks his ankle. Interesting. I think prediction is onto something. Michelle M wants to know if you knew Esty was with. Did you know in the game that Esty was more with Dane than with you? And if you did, why didn't you try and work more with Sam or Kiera?
Esty was not more with Dane than she was with me. Esty and I were a duo, and Dane recognized that early on. I could tell that because Esty was my ride or die and the type of player that she was, because she's so loyal, Dane really wanted that. He was more threatened by me, really wanted to get in with her. She wasn't more loyal to Dane. However, Dane was an excellent shield for her for a long time. So from a player standpoint, I completely understand and respect her gameplay in keeping a good relationship with him, because that was the best thing she could have done for her game. As far as Sam and Chelsea, you know, all I can say is after Chelsea put me on the block, like how moving forward, it was difficult for me personally to build that trust with her. I would have loved to work with Chelsea though. And before she put me on the block, I tried to build that relationship. With Sam, it was a little bit more difficult, just in the house trying to get Sam or Adam alone without each other. Like, it was very difficult. So I think, yeah, ultimately, if I could go back, I would work with Chelsea and Esty and take out Dane.
Is there anything that you feel, I know a lot of people were asking this earlier, as somebody, I know now you said you haven't watched all of it, but I'm assuming that you've seen a lot and have seen clips. Being on the outside, is there anything that you feel could have happened in that game to kind of shake up or knock out the pretty boy's power? Like, what in your opinion would have needed to happen in order to knock down that alliance?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think the best thing that could have happened was early on, had one of us won HOH and stuck together at, like, by one of us, I mean, not even just Sam or Chelsea or myself or Esty, I mean, Kaylin, Mackie, Eddie, had one of us won, Damien. I mean, things could be very, very different. But the problem came too, because none of us got the power to make that move to put two people up on the block. All we could do is try to protect ourselves in the meantime. Like, you know, Big Brother is not just offense all the time. It's not like shot, 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 shot. It's defense. And I think a lot of people forget that. But you have to have a really good defensive strategy, and you have to link together. And unfortunately, like, we couldn't link together well enough. And the Pretty Boys did an excellent, excellent job of keeping themselves separate in the house. Like, I cannot say it enough. I understand from an outsider's perspective watching it. It's like, hello, people, wake up. Like, how do you not notice this? But I promise you, every single day, like, maybe they spent 20 minutes together. And in that house, like, that is really hard to do, to keep that strong of a bond with such little time.
Yeah, I think it's easier for guys to do that. I feel
like it's, hey, bro.
Yeah, I think it's so much easier for guys to be like, oh yeah, we're going to trust each other. Okay, we're totally trusting each other now. Sure,
100%,
great.
100%.
Great, let's move. It also helps if, you know, although, no, I think only Anthony was the only one that didn't really know the game. Because I would say, yeah, Dane, Adam, Mark would all, I guess, consider themselves super fans. Well, speaking of what could be done in the game, I'm going to take a question from Bridget with a B, and you've gotten this from a bunch of people, but I'm going to take it from her over on Twitter. Says, I'm dying to ask Kiki if she regrets not fighting harder for that blood veto.
I knew this was going to be a question. You know, initially, when I was asked this question, I said no, because in the time when it was happening, it was the smartest move for my personal game. It may not have been the best thing for a viewer standpoint, and had I been on the outside looking in, I would have been like, hello, girl, like, wake up, why aren't you fighting for it? But for me, in the game, in that moment, that was the best thing that I could have done. Now, in hindsight 2020, I wonder what would have happened had I staked it out. Could I have managed to stay there long enough to have every single person that wanted my ass out to not have me go? Like, I do wonder if that could have happened, because maybe I just didn't give myself my best shot in trying to swindle everybody. But at that point in the game, I was trying to build my relationship with Sam. I understood her position in putting me up on the block, but if there was a chance that I could come down and Kiera could be the person to take me down, I needed to take that risk, because working with Kiera and Sam was a good option for Esty and myself in retaliation to the guys' alliance that, you know, everyone figured was happening.
Right. And I mean, like you said, had you gotten it, would it not have just been a repeat the following week? But and sometimes in Big Brother, though, we know as fans, 1 week can change everything in that house. A new target can arise so quickly. And I saw that Lala Muggs in chat also brought up a point to what we were saying before, that the Pretty Boys also won a lot of competitions. I always do forget that. We give them a lot of credit for sticking together and it almost being easy how they stuck together. However, it's also easy to stick together when you keep, when there's never a reason for there to be tension between any of you, because you keep saying, and totally good on them, you won the comps. I think we need, I wish they would do, different sorts of comps in Big Brother. I want a whole season of comps like we've never seen before. You
know what? I do think, though, that Adam and Dane carried the Pretty Boys. I'm sorry. Let's put that out there. Let's keep it 100 right now. They carried the Pretty Boys. Had Anthony won an HOH week 3, 100% I think he would have taken a shot at Sam. And I think that would have been the end of the Pretty Boys right then and there, because Adam was not about to have that. And we would have had the house collectively to have the votes to get rid of Sam. So I think because the things played out the way they did, and Mark and Anthony didn't win early on, they couldn't make those moves. It was safe for Dane and Adam to carry the other guys. I don't know. the way it played out is how it played out, but I think in the multitude of all the parallel universes around us, there are so many possibilities, and
I would give anything to get to see those alternate realities of the way, because it is fun to think about that, but I was like, God, I really wish we could find out. And, I mean, to your point, we did know that Dane really wanted Sam out as well. I wonder, had Dane been able to do it, would that have broken up? You know, I had done it earlier. Would that have been able to?
He thought about it. He wanted to the second week.
Yeah.
But Adam won veto and didn't use it, so it was between Mackie and Kiera. But we had that conversation where he was like, hey, like, let's backdoor Sam. And we were like, let's do it.
And I will just say, now, I don't agree necessarily with this viewpoint. However, I'm trying, because it is just me doing this show. So I try to show both sides. So I will just throw out, but I don't agree with it, that people will think Anthony not having to win anything, yet still controlling what happened in the game, they will say that is just as powerful as winning a comp. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that, but I'm just throwing it out there for the Anthony fans so that they all don't kill me.
No, and I love that, because Anthony did play a really good game.
He did.
However, I think from my experience in the house, it was more evident that Dane and Adam had a lot more say in what was going on. I think Anthony was a good voice of reason for a lot of people, and people felt comfortable coming to talk to him.
Right.
But I wouldn't necessarily say that it was his decisions all the time. I don't think it was him solely, but I think the way he speaks makes people feel like it's him. Does that make sense? Okay, because he's really, really smooth talker. Like, his finesse game is unreal.
Which is why we all loved Corey saying, finesse me.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
Finesse
that was the best thing ever. I was like, Corey, yeah, Stan.
And I knew I strongly believed that Anthony did play that game really great, but let's just say, being someone that didn't know this game before, I knew that wasn't a game you were winning with the jury. When you send those people out feeling, you know, we had Kiera on yesterday. She said she felt like Anthony was her brother, like, wanted to know about her life, everything. When you send somebody out feeling that, and then you end their game, that is that's an almost impossible way to win Big Brother. But we know that.
It's really tough.
Speaking of jury, you got this question from a ton of people. I'm going to take it from Destiny's, watching from New Zealand.
Hi, Destiny. Oh my God.
She says, if you were in the jury, who would have gotten your vote and why?
And we're sticking with the same final two
same final two.
I think, you know, we all know who it was. It was Dane. Ultimately, it was Dane. What's interesting, what's frustrating, what's exciting, invigorating, lovely, every weird kind of emotion is the fact that Dane was so in it from every minute. Yeah. And I could tell that right away. Like, that's why I wanted to sleep in his bed. I was like, I need to sleep with this guy. We got to get close. Right. And Dane and I could stand each other. And that's why I tried to sewer him on my way out too. Because at the end, what did I have to lose? Like, I was leaving anyway.
Right.
Dane, you were doing the best job. You were going to win. And when I was out of the house and I continued to see his gameplay, I love the fact that I could say what I said to him, blow up his game theoretically, and have him be challenged to overcome that and succeed. Like, oh my God, the fan in me was going nuts. I was like, this guy, like, yes, win this show. Absolutely. I would 100% voted for Dane, and yeah. Okay. And we're also kind of neighbors, so I feel like I have to.
Right. Okay, so then I kind of feel like I know the answer to this question, but I wanted to mix it up a little bit. So what if it was Dane and Adam? Mm-hmm. Also Dane?
I would have loved to have heard Adam speak in the final two. I think I would have loved to hear that, because that could definitely change my perspective. I wouldn't just go wholeheartedly be like, I was working with Dane. Yeah, he stabbed me in the back, but I'm gonna, keep up with that, because Adam played incredibly. And when Sam left, I got to see like a little bit more of who Adam was as a player.
Right.
And he really, he was very, very impressive. So I would have loved to have heard what he had to say. I don't know who I would have voted for at that point. That's a really good question. That would have been an insane final two.
I already know Adam. I mean, not for you. I know for me, Adam. I mean, I just have a crush on Adam, so I'm just going to pick Adam every time. Adam.
Oh, yeah?
Adam. I would be a horrible Big Brother player. I was like, what do you want me to do, Adam? Okay.
Oh, my God.
Do you want me to leave, Adam? Okay, I'll leave. Everyone, I'm just going to go instead of Adam this week, okay? Bye, guys.
Oh, my goodness.
I had a little crush on Adam. It's going to be awkward on Thursday. And right, I'm married. I have to remember that, too. Melanie S. wants to know, is there any specific move in the game that you wish you could change besides, let's say, the blood veto? So is there any other move or pivot that you kind of wish, if you could go back, that you could change in the game that you think would have helped you stay in longer?
Yeah, absolutely. It would be week 2, Mackie's eviction. I campaigned hard for Mackie. Mama K, Esty, Eddie, and myself. We all campaigned very, very hard. If Mackie would have stayed, this game would be completely different. We would have had a very strong player on our side. Also, Mackie is incredible. And I know it's a game, but you have to think about the fact that you spend 24 hours with these people in the house. So ultimately, yes, you want to be with people that you're working with, but you also want to be with people that are easy to live with. And he is amazing. Being with him was so great. So I think if he would have stayed, that would have been incredible.
That would have been incredible. Mackie will be on next, not this coming up week, the following week. Mackie will be on for you guys to come and ask your questions to. Okay. Denise Munns 60790, a whole bunch of numbers, says, knowing, or assuming now that Esty would be a detriment to your game, if you could restart, would you still align with her from the start of the season?
Yes, I would. Absolutely. I would align with her, and I would make our relationship stronger with Chelsea and probably with Mama K as well. I think the 4 of us working together would have done some real damage. And
you would say to her, look, I'm in this situation where I am apparently magic and have a time machine, so just trust me, we got this.
Exactly. You know, I think from a fan perspective, it can be confusing why I am so loyal to her. I know that can come across confusing, but at the end of the day, I know our relationship and she knows our relationship, and through, like, she was the person that I could be myself with inside the house and could work with 100%. You know, I never got that feeling from anyone else besides Damien, but it was difficult to work with Damien because he keeps so much to himself, and I need a partnership. It's got to be a two-way street here. Like, you know, so.
I mean, I know that there's game, there's real life. I always say, even if we hate people in the game, we need to give them a shot in real life because that is a game. I mean, I think the specific thing that I think fans reference when, like, their feelings about Esty, and I don't know that this is necessarily a deal breaker, but there were times when she was alone on the feeds. And it was always like when she was counting things off or saying the order that people needed to go, it was always like she was protecting Dane ahead of you in those scenarios. So I think that's why people feel frustrated with it. However, I will say, we don't know that she wasn't just practicing what she needed to say around, let's say, Dane, or like, I can remember things better if I say them out loud. So maybe it's not like she was talking to the cameras going, okay, everyone, I'm going to get rid of Kiki first, then I will save it. She was just talking out loud. So she might have been rehearsing it is what I'm saying. Again, we'll find out Friday. We'll find out Friday. Cammy Forever wants to know, was there anything that shocked you that you saw on the feeds or the show watching it back? And was there anything that shocked you that happened in the real world for during the time that you were in the house that shocked you?
So if I had seen the show through and through, I'd probably have a better answer. But
Right.
like I said, I've seen a few episodes, and honestly, like the most active I've been with this whole Big Brother experience is on Twitter. So it's what people tag me in, and
Right.
what gets on my feed.
Well,
The
I'm sure
most
that
shock,
has to be the shocking stuff, because I'm sure if people are tagging you, it's because
yeah,
it's not great and they want a reaction.
yeah. Oh, I was really, really, really shocked about Corey's three final two deals
Oh, the
for her
twist.
mission. I was really, really shocked by that. I thought that was like really well done. Other than that, outside the house,
Was there any real world stuff?
real world stuff. Okay, this is gonna sound crazy, but
Uh-huh.
the fact that Billy Ray Cyrus and Lil
Okay.
Nas X, or is it Lil Nas? I don't know,
I think it's
but
still Lil Nas.
they made a song together, and I really like it.
That is shocking. That was very shocking, but you have to love the Cyrus family.
Oh, I have another one. I
Wh-
just thought of something.
yeah?
I am shocked at the BB alumni that liked me when I was in the house, because honestly, being in the house, you're like, does anybody watch this? Does anybody like us? Like, you're constantly like, well, at least I was. And I was super, super shocked to learn that people that I love also love me. So that was incredible.
Is there anyone in specific who you enjoyed the most?
There might be.
Because, I don't know anything and I feel bad. I should have asked you
Okay.
this before.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to ask you now, which you can handle it. I saw a picture of you and Jesse, and Jesse was my crush last season.
Oh, no way.
So is there any possibility of anything happening there?
No, not
Oh.
with Jesse.
Okay, not with Jesse. We'll get into more of that later. I'll ask that one later on the Patron Show.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, everyone. Well, let me ask you this. Speaking of Alumni Weekend and finding out that the people liked you, Cuppy K wants to know, who did you bond with the most during that, who did you bond most with in that little after with all of the previous Big Brother players, the retreat weekend?
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, everyone has been incredible. I
Right.
mean, when Big Brother says like everybody here is a family, like they're not kidding. I mean, these people bend over backwards, like whatever you need. I mean, I remember tweeting at 4 a.m. and Maddie was like, "Hey, girl, text me. Like I've been there. I know, your mind's racing or whatever." I have met so many incredible people. I mean, to list a few, I really like season. I can't really say seasons because they're all from different seasons.
Sure,
but
go ahead.
Bruno, Maddie, Paris, John, Will, Allie. Yeah, a lot of people from Newfoundland. So like just so many people. Yeah.
Love Maddie so much. Now, how did you understand Will?
I don't know, but we really hung out a lot. Will was amazing. We hung out basically the whole time. Like we're really close. Well, not really close, but I think if we had been in a season together, we would definitely work together.
I feel
and
like
Ronnie too.
Yes, definitely. I feel like I feel like I just said this on another show, but I swear the Will interview was the only interview where I literally had no clue what he was saying. He was just like, I don't give a shit about it. And I was like, yes. And I think you answered that question. And hi, Will.
Oh my god, that's his charm though, Oh my god, and how could I forget Kevin and Peely? I also love Kevin and Peely.
Of course, everybody loves Kevin. Damien C wants to know, Kiki, where would you have gone on your trip and why?
I would have gone to Iceland.
Really?
Yeah, I am Icelandic, so I would have loved to go to Iceland, and I also think Bjork is amazing. There's so many good artists that come from Iceland that we don't, we're like, people are sleeping on Iceland, honestly. I would go to Iceland. And who would I take? Was that part of the question?
But sure, who would you take?
I think I would have taken my mom.
Oh.
Because I love her.
Now, can you do me a favor and say you, Eric?
Obviously you, Eric.
Thank you. I'm going to change that in the edit. I'm totally kidding. Yes, everybody loves. Actually, since we're talking about who you would want to do stuff with, let me ask you this, because I know a lot of people love to know it. Would you do Survivor if you were asked to do Survivor?
Yeah, I think I'd be really bad at that one, but yeah, I would.
Me too.
I'm like a yes man. I would say yes to anything.
Okay,
so if you like go on Fear Factor, I'd be like, okay, do it. Like, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So then we know you would do the challenge. We know you would do Amazing Race. Then I would say, who would you want to do Amazing Race with? If you could pick someone from your cast and then anyone. Give us both.
Somebody from my cast.
Yeah, and I'm going to say not Esty to make it harder for you.
Okay. I would pick Mackie.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you... Okay, Mackie. And then if you could do it with anybody. It doesn't need to be somebody from your cast. It could be someone in your real life. Or would you still stick with Mackie?
No, I'd probably do it with John. Probably.
John Party?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting, and good luck. Follow up to that from Denise. If you were asked to be in another season of Big Brother, how would your strategy change? By the way, you're the only person besides Eddie that I loved this season, Denise. So how would your strategy change if you played again?
Oh, that's a good one. Because here's the thing, you guys. I mean, before going in the house, I literally wrote a list of like my pros and my cons. So I knew going into it what I needed to work on and what I could use to my advantage. Like things I needed to work on. I don't have a good poker face. If I don't like you, you know. Mm-hmm. Also, I have a really blunt personality. So if everyone's, sitting there awkward and there's an elephant in the room, I'm probably going to be the one to be like, hey, this is what's up.
Right.
So, and I tried. I really, really did try to tone that down, to be more like submissive and not be so myself. But it's hard in the house to lose. I feel like, I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could change my strategy. So it's like what you see is what you get kind of thing.
Right. And I mean, I think you could just not play because it's true, but you could, I think, just stick with, I'm going to be loyal. Like, I am going, like you saw I was loyal to Esty in the game. I was loyal to Leslie out of the game. If you work with me, I'm going to be loyal to you. That could very much be a good way to do that. Mike A is saying, okay, earlier you explained why you called out Dane on your way out of the game. Did any part of you worry that would paint a target on Esty, though?
I did think about that, but I also thought it gave her an out as well. Mm-hmm. If she wanted to be like, all right, washing my hands of that, I'm going to team up with Corey and Anthony now, or whatever. Ultimately, I did that for me and for my game and for my peace of mind and for my own sweet satisfaction. So sorry to Esty. She figured it out, though. They were fine. They were like stronger afterwards. It was like a blessing.
Everybody loves a calling out on the way out. It is a favorite moment. I think you kind of answered this, but I'm going to ask it. Erin, BB Can Team, Corey, I believe also from New Zealand. You're very popular in New Zealand, let me tell you.
Okay, well, I really want to live in a van and travel New Zealand. So, hey, if anyone's in New Zealand, hit me up. Oh, well, I'm not even kidding about that.
That is two of them, Erin and Destiny's. Who do you wish you would have aligned with other than the people you already did? So I guess if you could go back and work more with people, I feel like you might have said this, but I'm going to just ask it specifically now. So who would you align with if you could have done it over again?
I would have 100% worked on my relationship with Chelsea more to get her to feel more comfortable with me, because I felt very comfortable with her, but it wasn't reciprocated. I think too many people got into her ear before I could build a solid foundation with her. And so I would have loved to have worked with her. Looking at the few episodes that I have seen from the beginning of the season, her and I were very similar in the way we thought, how we processed information, the way we viewed things. I think if her and I had worked together, it could have been deadly, for sure.
Yeah, I think a lot of us wanted to see more from you. I think a lot of us wanted to see more. I don't mean you should have done more. I mean, we wanted like more time to get to watch you play the game, and Chelsea as well. I think a lot of people wanted to see more of that. BB Little Bit, you actually got this from a lot of people. BB Little Bit 2 wants to know, Kiki, did you know at the time that Sam was trying to throw the crossword comp to you?
Yeah, I did. And she told me before the second half of that comp started. And to be honest with you, I think that's part of the reason why I literally froze. Because I'm somebody that's like in a competitive state, I'm super focused. And like, I will get the job done. The first HOH, it was like, okay, guess what, guys? There's no POV. So if you don't get to the second half, like, good luck, right? And I got to the second half, like, not even joking you, maybe 10 seconds after Adam did. Same thing in the bingo competition, like before the second half started, she didn't tell me that she was going to throw it. You know, I thought I'm going home if I don't win this. So I did what I had to do. She had a 2-ball advantage. I still beat her in that, you know, and the double eviction, same thing with my veto win. It was like, okay, I don't believe that Eddie is the target here. I fully believe I am. So I'm going to win this, take myself off. So when Sam told me that she was throwing it to me, it completely threw me off. Also, I think the fact that I was a little bit in my own head because everybody was behind me. Right. So like the whole cast was behind me and they weren't behind Sam, like the way it was set up. So having them stare at me and yell like, go Kiki and all that shit, like I love it. Thank you guys. You're the best. But at the same time, like I have to focus right now and you're really not helping me. But they meant well. I mean,
see, now here's my problem. Maybe why I shouldn't do these. I have such a bad, like, short-term memory. And when I say short-term, I mean it's like a month. Like, anything that happens between instantly and a month prior, I don't remember. But put me out for a month, then I will know every single detail. But here's a great question from Debbie Dawn, which I keep forgetting. It goes back to, you know, you saying that you wish you would work with Sam or Chelsea more. Debbie Dawn says, when you formed the 8 Alliance with Sam, Esty, Chelsea, and the PBs, I kind of forgot about that. Where did you see all of that going? Now, do you feel like you formed it?
Do
you feel like you formed the 8 Alliance?
No, that was definitely not my idea at all, and I didn't want to be in that at all either. So
that is why you would say that you I'm saying, going back to that, do you think that could have been like a change in the trajectory had you worked more with them, or no, because you wanted no part of the PBs at all?
I mean, it sounds all great and everything to try to make an alliance so early on. But as the days go on, you learn how people are and just their personalities living with them. There are some people in that alliance that there is game or whatever, we don't click. And there's people that weren't in that alliance, like Damien and Mackie, who I did really click with. So it would have been a nice thought, and I understand why Adam wanted to approach that, because it, you know, keeps them safe and you get these like 4 hot girls with you. But at the same time, it's not something I was about to.
Right, that's why I was like, I know I have a horrible memory, but I am pretty sure that Kiki did not form that group. I was like, am I really wrong on this one? Becca wants to know, you did get this from a lot of people as well, would you have stayed true to Sam if you stayed the week that you were evicted? So that had they had been able to work it so that you stayed, do you feel you would have been loyal to them going forward? Or what would your play have been moving forward from that point?
I would have absolutely had Sam's back, because at that point in the game, so here's the thing too that I hope people can realize. Saying I want somebody to go, they're not beneficial for my game in week 2 is completely different week 7. Correct. Like, you know, it's a completely different game by then. I needed Sam. I needed her in the game. I felt like she needed me too, and I told her that. Like, that's great that I'm going to go, but guess who's next? You. So I would have wanted to work with her. Yeah, I really did.
You also got this from a lot of people as well. I'm going to take it from Melanie. Do you think that you should have worked with Damien more, or did you see him as more working with the guys and not someone that you could trust?
That question confuses me actually, because I worked with Damien a lot. A lot. We had a really strong relationship from the get-go. The first week he was on the block, I campaigned a lot for him. I wanted him to stay. I knew he didn't know a lot about the game, but I'm someone who very much, even on my day-to-day life, I go off people's energy a lot. I know that's like really hippie and witchy, but it's the honest truth. I mean, with intuition and everything, I mean, you can tell, even for instance, like, you can tell if someone's looking at you and you don't even need to look up, you know? Like,
Right.
There's a feeling you get with certain people, with certain things. I really, really did work with Damien, so I wish people could see that more. God, we had such a good thing going. I would have liked to work with Damien. And also, I will give you this little nugget of wisdom.
Okay.
I would have taken Damien in the final two had we gotten there.
Over Esty? If it would have been you, Damien, Esty, final three, you would have brought Damien.
Had the game played out and Damien not won competitions, yes.
Interesting.
And that's because Esty had a better social game, and in competitions, you know, she came very, very close many times of winning. Like, super close.
I mean, look, here is the part that I will never understand. I don't get these people that play Big Brother and go, I want to take the person at the end that played the best game. Clearly you have health insurance then, and don't have a mortgage and have a... No, you take the person to the end, you can win.
Yep.
If
exactly.
I could have dragged, I can't even think of an example. Whoever, I am bringing the person I know I'm going to beat. I'm not going to bring the hard, challenging person that I have to really work to make a case against.
No, exactly. Like, that's what it comes down to. If it was me and Esty in the final two, or if Damien was the third and we somehow made a final three together, it would have been really difficult for me to work against Esty in the final two chair. Socially, she would have had the votes. Even if I had played a competitively better game, I think she would have had the hearts of everybody, and everybody would just look at me with like a sour taste in their mouth or something. So.
Right. I also say this every single show at this moment. I cannot even believe that we've already been talking for 45 minutes. So let me ask, yes. Are you okay staying like another 10, 15 minutes answering?
Yeah.
Because you still have a lot. I'm going to try and get through more of them as quickly as possible.
I'll succinct my answers. Sorry.
No, don't. You don't. And people would because look, here's what I always say. It's always better if we leave them wanting more than they follow you on social media and blah, blah, blah. Let them hear your full answers. There are so many, it's so hard for me to like read through your wall of all of them and pick out the best ones, but I'm going to try and keep picking out good ones for you. And while I do that, I'm going to ask you this one that I'm seeing instantly, and then I will find a better one. No, I'm kidding. Nat, this is a great question. Okay. Nat wants to know, do you feel like you're an introvert? Have you been watching? Do you feel like you're an introvert? And if so, do you feel that hindered your game?
Yeah, I would absolutely say I'm an introvert. But I'm a confident introvert, if that makes sense. So I have no problem speaking in front of a crowd. I have no problem standing up for what I believe in. But at the end of the day, I need to be alone. I think if you watch live feeds, you would see that I spent a lot of time by myself, which definitely hindered my social game, because I cannot be around everybody and all their energies all the time. Like, it literally takes a toll on me. I feel super drained and I don't feel like myself. Yeah.
That's weird. I mean, that makes sense. That's interesting. I would not have said I thought you were an introvert, but now that you put it that way, I guess that makes sense.
No, I am. Yeah, there's a Myers-Briggs personality test that I've done many times over many years, and I get the same result every time. And I'm an INTP, which is interesting because there's less than 3% of the world who are INTPs and less than 1% of females, which is why I am the way I am, and I'm so crazy. And if you read up on INTPs, you'll understand that a little more.
I do understand it because I am the same. That is why this show is done from my home.
Are you actually?
Yes, I am.
You're an INTP too?
Yes, I am. And
oh my God.
And I have a psychology degree. But we're going to move on.
I love that.
Leanne, no, I'm going to take this question from BB Boston. She says, from the outside world, it kind of looked like people in the house were just sitting back and letting the pretty boys steamroll over the game. Do you feel, or you said you didn't necessarily feel that was the case. What are some examples that you can give which, what are some examples of that? So let me just ask you, do you feel like the pretty boys steamrolled the game and nobody did anything about it? Or do you feel people were fighting against them in the game?
I do think people are absolutely fighting against them in the game, but I also feel like the structure of the game on the inside looked very different than how it did on the outside. Right. On the outside, it looks like there's these 4 guys together, and then there's everyone else in the house, you know? And with the 4 guys, you know, it's like, whatever. But from inside the house, it's pairs. We had this moment where Esty and I were like figuring everything out. And it was pairs, and it was triplets.
Right.
You know, you have like the Chelsea, Sam, Adam, then you have the Dane, Kiera, Esty, then you have like the Mama K, Mackie, Laura, then if everybody had like their people, and nobody, interesting. But I did call the PBs like the 3rd day in the house, or the 6th day. I did say that, I did bring that up to Esty, but she didn't believe me.
Let me ask you this, because you did get this kind of question, and I'm trying to think of how to word it from the other way people are wording it. I'm going to put it like this.
Just say it.
What?
I can handle it.
I'm trying to say it in a way that you can answer it. What did you think when Big Brother showed you guys everybody's secrets? And some people's secrets seemed more game exposing than others. Like some people's were, I'm a fantastic liar. Yeah, and other people's secrets were, I eat ice cream in the closet at night.
Yeah.
So what were what were your thoughts on that?
For everyone watching, truthfully, it was an uphill battle from that moment on in the game for me. There was no way around it. The energy in the room was like nobody wanted to be near me. And that's why I connected with Esty. She still wanted to hang out with me. She still wanted to get to know me, you know, and it was hard because you're right. I mean, okay, I get it. You played professional hockey. What does that have to do with this game? Okay, I get it. You're sensitive. What does that have to do with this game? Like, can you show me how that is going to directly affect this gameplay? Because I don't. But when you're telling me or having me say that, yes, I do think like I'm a really good liar and I could lie my way through this game, and you're exposing Eddie that, you know, he's a cryptocurrency developer, and you're exposing Kaylin that she reads people, like those 3 things were really hard, I think, for all 3 of us to try to overcome. Like I freaking forgot half what people said, but nobody forgot those 3. Those 3 were like the main 3, and out of those 3, mine was the main one. Like, Big Brother, you sewered me, but I love you. But you did. I know. You did, and I was sorry, I have a cough. I was skeptical from that moment moving forward. Everything I said in every single room, even in the DR, I was skeptical.
And I think you have to be. I always say, in order to win Big Brother, you have to play the house, you have to play your country, but you also have to play production. Because I think going in, if I ever played Big Brother, when they would ask me stuff like that ahead of season, like, what are you afraid of? I would be just like Ika. I'm afraid of bunny rabbits. Ooh, don't put me in a box with a bunny rabbit. That'd be horrible. I don't like
She's not afraid of bunnies.
No, she is. Well, I give her shit because I'm like, you are not afraid of bunnies. You know the game. You know to say things you're not actually afraid of. But no, Ika swears to me that she is really afraid of bunnies. But no, that's what I would do. I'd be like, I'm afraid of bunnies and pillows and soft things. I have a horrible fear of soft things. Whatever, because you know they're going to use that stuff against you. But whatever. Diane BB Feed Fan says, I know that I love when everyone always says they know how you feel. I'm going to say, do you feel that if you had put more energy into bringing all of the girls together early on in the game, it could have become a strength in numbers girl alliance?
I think that in theory, yes, but in all actuality, no. Between, like, even just if I were to pick out, like, Laura, Sam, myself, each one of us, strong personalities. And, like, working that in itself, like, that triad would be extremely difficult. Right. Because I think there would be a power struggle throughout. Yeah, it would be really hard. I had a hard time working with Sam, honestly. I really did have a hard time working with her. Yeah. I would have liked to, and I did want to. Like, I wasn't kidding when I was getting evicted, but it was difficult for sure.
Do you think that and you would say the reason why was the relationship with Adam, that Sam, and I mean, I even think Sam admits this, that she got swept up in Adam more so than the game, it seemed like. Do you think that's the reason why?
Maybe. I'm not sure. Because initially Sam and I walked in together, and right away it was like, I've got you. And we were on it together. But as, time progresses on, she started getting closer with Chelsea. I started getting closer with Esty. Esty and Chelsea never talked. So It was, yeah. I wonder what could have happened, but
okay. I want to take final 3 questions for you. This one from Lost and Confused. Are there any previous competitions that you wish you could have been a part of? So, is there any, as a Big Brother fan, are there any competitions that you wish you would have gotten to play in?
Yes. Okay, this is going to sound I'm sorry. I have a really bad cough right now.
We don't even hear it, so you're doing perfect.
Oh, really? Oh, good. Really? I'm so sorry. I feel like that's just the worst. But I have, this is going to be sounding like really ironic, but I always wanted to do one of the competitions where you have to like smash something, get letters, and make a word.
Okay.
Because believe it or not, I am a really good writer. I know words like the back of my hand, which is also why the crossword just like devastated me. And I will never live that down. Like, how sometimes you have that moment you'll never forget forever?
Right.
Unfortunately, Canada gets to never forget that moment for me. So we're all together. But I would have loved to do a spelling challenge for sure.
Did you, I mean, I guess you have to be in the moment looking at the letters you have, but did you, like most people have a word in mind that they want to go into it with? Did you have a word in mind?
Yeah, I mean, I loved Brendan's concept from Brendan and Rachel, like words that can, like add-ons, like understanding. So I would have loved to do something like that if I could.
Are you a Brenchel fan?
Yeah, like big time. Which is funny because I think Saddam is kind of like the Brenchel of the season. Like you love him or you hate him kind of thing. But Brenchel is sick for sure.
Oh, I am not going to call them the Brenchel of your season because I love me some Brendan and Rachel, but I think even Brendan and Rachel know they are like a notch or two more on the crazy scale than an Adam and Sam were during their season. But I'm actually going to be talking to Rachel in a little while about our amazing race recap, so I will tell her that you loved her because I think she will love to know that.
If you tell her, like, you need to tell her, like, I love her. Like, from Canada, my number 1 is Cassandra, and from US, my number 1 is Rachel.
Oh, we'll talk about it.
Please let her know, please.
We'll talk about it after. Melanie wants to know, which I love, which is now our new final second to last question on all of these shows. Is there any question that you have for us about anything that happened in the game? Because you have hundreds of people here that are all, I think our audience is mainly live feed watchers.
Okay.
Is there anything that you were like, God, I wish I had more clarification on this situation or that situation? Is there, and I mean, and it's okay if you don't, but sometimes people do. And Melanie wants to know, is there anything that you thought maybe you didn't have the full story on that you wish you did? I guess it's different for you because you've been out of the house, so you can kind of find it out if you wanted to know. You don't have to have an answer.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
No, that's fine. Okay, I'm gonna say final question, then I'm gonna let you give a message to your fans, and we're gonna talk about your socials. But what is something that you learned about yourself coming out of this Big Brother experience that you didn't know about yourself before you started playing this game?
Oh my God. Okay, I love this question so much, first of all.
Shout out Our Town. It's Our Town's question.
Thank you, Our Town, for this.
Okay.
I had no idea I couldn't conceptualize how much Big Brother would change me as a person. Mm-hmm. How much it would bring out things in me that I had to face and had to deal with. In the pre-interviews, I'm not an emotional person. I think in the last 5 years, I've cried maybe twice. In that house, I was crying like weird amounts, so Big Brother was amazing. I have nothing but amazing things to say about the whole experience. I feel I'm a lot more open and loving and receptive to love now too.
Oh,
I think, I feel more able to connect with people, or more willing to connect with people.
Right.
If that makes sense.
I feel like that is great things to take out of the Big Brother experience.
Yeah.
So perfect. Okay, I want to give you full screen. Like we said, you have hundreds of people watching here live now. You're going to have probably thousands watching it back after once it hits the iTunes and everywhere else.
Oh, it's going on iTunes too?
Oh, we're everywhere.
Oh, boy, let's go.
Actually, before we go to you full screen, and then I have a few more things for you, let me quickly let everybody know, if you guys missed any of our shows back, of course, you can see them all over at yourrealityrecaps.com/bbcan. If you wanted to see us do these shows live, make sure you become a fan over on YouNow, yourrealityrecaps.com/YouNow. Just click the Become a Fan button. It's totally free. You get alerted when we go live. You can talk in the chat room, ask your questions there during these shows. It's a great way to be alerted, for example, when Adam is on Tuesday, or Sam on Wednesday, or SD on Friday. That is how you are alerted when they happen live and get to be a part of it. Of course, if you want to help support our shows, consider becoming a patron. yourrealityrecaps.com/patron. You get access to the patron-only group, weekly shows just for patrons, prize giveaways for patrons, and of course, the after shows like the one we're going to do with Kiki right after this. You could also do a one-time donation at yourrealityrecaps.com/PayPal. Or if you have any Amazon shopping to do, make sure you start with our link, yourrealityrecaps.com/Amazon. You don't pay any more. We get a little bit back. You could also click on the Amazon ad in the sidebar, or any of the ads in the sidebar if you would like as well. yourrealityrecaps.com/Twitch too if you're into late night gaming. Now, Patreon and PayPal are both the best ways to help support us so that we can keep bringing you new content all Big Brother 21 season long. Some free ways you can support is make sure that you're always retweeting and favoriting us across all social medias. If you are watching on YouTube, thumbs up and subscribe. Hit that bell. Leave a comment and a like below. Those are great ways on YouTube. If you're in iTunes, I cannot express how much a 5-star rating and a nice review will really, really help us out. But look, we need to hear what Kiera wants to say to all of you. So Kiera, I'm going to give you a wide screen. The floor is yours.
You guys have no idea what you mean to me. You have literally changed my life. Every message you send me, I read. It's hard for me to respond to all of them, but I promise you I am reading them. I'm trying to get back to everything. You have no idea how much I love you. I want to build relationships with you as well. I mean, as much as, I'm a player in this game, I was a fan first too. I was right where you are, and I would love to talk to you. I want to travel Canada. I want to travel the US. I want to travel everywhere. And let me know where you are, and I'll come visit you. So.
Okie dokie. Yes, traveling the world. Very introverted. No, I'm totally kidding. I'm totally
Traveling the world by myself.
By yourself. No, I know. Now, if people want to keep in touch with you and they want to keep in contact with you, where do you want them to follow you on social media?
You can follow my Instagram if you want to see singing videos and just my life, basically. That would be cool. Or my Twitter.
Okay, so you're mainly Twitter and Instagram. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put the links to your socials. I see Lindsay is posting them in chat right now. I will put them below this on the edited show if you're watching on our websites or in the show notes on iTunes and YouTube and Stitcher and all those places. Look in the show notes. Wherever you're watching this back later, that is where the links to Kiera's socials will be. And I could just tell how much you love music from this quick chat. I feel like we need a Kiera... I feel like you need to be doing something with music. That's my advice.
Thank you. Yeah, I've got like 3 guitars right next to me and my bass and everything, my microphone down here. Like, I love music. Maybe I'll produce something for you guys. I don't know.
You should make like Kiera Sings, a YouTube channel. Well, look, we have to go head over to the Patreon group, but we love chatting with you. Now that I know you love Our Big Brother, are you going to be watching Our Big Brother this season?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm such a Big Brother fan. I wish, you know what, that's one thing I wish I said to the other house guests, because they had no idea. I've seen every season. I am obsessed with the show. I love it.
Well, I think we'll be having Kiera back on to talk Big Brother 21 with us real soon.
Love that.
Thank you guys so much for watching live.
Thank you.
I will see you guys back here on Tuesday with Adam, or Monday night for the Drag Race show over on TV Party app. Bye, everybody. Bye, guys. Bye.